Hello teachers! In this ALEKS video, we will explore how to monitor student usage and progress as they are learning from home. As students are working on their personalized learning path from home, you have access to many reports that will help monitor your students. In this video, we're going to focus on two of those reports. So once you have chosen your class in the class dropdown, you will want to go to Reports below the class dropdown and hover. Now here you can see a variety of different reports that are available, but we're going to focus today on the Progress and the Time and Topic report. These both will help me to monitor what my students are doing at home. So if I click on Progress Report, I will be taken to a report which shows me what my students are doing and where they are within their learning path. Now at the top of the screen you can see there is a drop down that says Show, and so I can open up that drop down and request their current knowledge, which would be learning progress since last knowledge check, or their progress as of the last knowledge check. If you're wanting to see how students are performing as of today, I would encourage you to leave learning progress since last knowledge check. As you scroll down, you will see that you'll see your students' names listed, when they logged in last, and when they took their last knowledge check. In the performance column, you will see the progress of each student. So in this particular course, Middle School Math 2, which is going to be our 7th grade course, there are 417 topics. So I'm able to see for every student how they have progressed through those topics. The first number indicates mastery in terms of a knowledge check, and the second number indicates learning since that last knowledge check. Now, if you would prefer to see this information by percent, you can click on percent and it will give you the same information, but it will be in terms of percentages. The other thing I can do is click Class Progress, and this will order my students from highest performing to lowest performing as far as completion of topics. And so I'm able to see for each student, again, where they are within their learning journey, and then also see what they have been doing since their last knowledge check. So you can see there are 3 columns labeled since last knowledge check, and so what this tells me is how many topics they've learned, how much time they've been in ALEKS, and their average topics learned per hour. So as my students are working at home, we definitely want to see all of these numbers increasing, the time in ALEKS, the topics learned. The topics learned per hour will vary dependent upon where it is that your students are in terms of the pie. So a student that is in the lower percentage will be able to complete more topics per hour. Now I can click into any of these student names, so we'll just choose John. And here I will be able to get individual progress for John. And so what I'm able to see here is the very first time John started in ALEKS, what he scored on his initial knowledge check, which is this first number right here, 32%. And again, I can change between percent and progress. So John scored at 32% in his initial knowledge check. I can go over here to the right to see how much time he spent in ALEKS and how many topics he learned before the next knowledge check was activated. During the next knowledge check, John came out at 34%. Now we would expect this 34% based on what he learned previously. We want him to retain the 32% previously learned, plus add the 3% that he's shown learning. And so that's 35. He came out at 34, which means that he may have 1 or 2 topics that he didn't retain. Not to worry, those are going to go back into his learning path and he will see those again and be able to add those later. And so each time that the students take a knowledge check, you will be able to see their progress listed here. You will also be able to see what they have done in between those knowledge checks. So the progress report really just allows me to drill down into each individual student and see what they are doing over time. I do want to remind you that we would expect them to do 20 topics and 5 hours in ALEKS before they will see an additional knowledge check. So here you're able to see the progress that a student is making over time as they are working from home. The next report that I want to show you, again, I'm going to click on the word class and choose my class. And this time when I go to reports, I'm going to ask for the time and topic report. So this report will allow me to see what my students are doing on a daily basis with their ALEKS usage. We choose a 2-week date range, but you can easily change the date. So if I wanted to give my students a goal for each week, or maybe a certain amount of time or topics that I want them to learn, I could do that, and I could set this date from Sunday to today, or Sunday to Sunday, or however you choose to do that, and press compute, and I will be able to see what the students did during that time period. So in this time period from last Sunday to today, I'm able to see by student name for each day how many minutes they spent logged into ALEKS and what they did while they were in ALEKS. So for instance, Robert on Monday logged in for an hour and 22 minutes, and he learned 1 out of 7 topics. So what that tells me is he actually went into 7 different topics, but he only stayed and learned 1 of them. And so each day I'm able to analyze this data and see how my students are performing overall. I do want to draw your attention to the blue triangle in the top right-hand corner of this particular day. And what this indicates to me is that this was a day where the student was in a knowledge check. And so if you see time in ALEKS with 0 out of 0, that's how you can tell whether they just logged in and did nothing or they are spending time in a knowledge check. Now, any of these students I can look at individually to see exactly what's going on while they're in their ALEKS content. So let's just say Kelly here. Let's press Kelly's name. We will now see Kelly's individual time and topic report. And so I'm able to see here in the 3 weeks that I have available, which again, you can change the time period for, you can see right here. I'm able to see every day sort of how she progressed. So blue is good. Blue means that they are learning topics. Orange means that they entered a topic but did not learn that particular topic. So I can hover over any day and see the time that was spent, how many topics they learned, and how many topics they attempted but did not learn. So this really helps me drill down into each student and see exactly what they're doing on a daily basis. Now I can take this one step further, and I can actually click on Thursday, and it will take me in and show me exactly what Kelly did within each topic. So you can see that she started with converting a mixed number. She asked for an explanation. She got the first question wrong, but then she was able to answer the next 3 correctly. So I can hover over any of these pieces and see exactly what time it was when she worked in ALEKS, as well as how much time she spent working on that particular question and that particular topic. So again, this gives me as the teacher a great way to drill down and monitor student usage and what's going on with my students while they're working from home on their personalized learning path. I can even take it one step further and click into any of these checks or X's and see exactly what my students did. So in this particular case, Kelly did not provide an answer, but had she provided an answer, I would see that, and so that would help me to really sort of understand where she's going wrong. Again, this is where we would encourage you to have your students keeping an ALEKS notebook and using paper and pencil at home so that you are able to help them in the future with any of these topics that they had difficulty with. So one more time, I want to focus again on the fact that you want to make sure you have clicked on your class and chosen a class from the drop-down. Go to reporting. You can see a variety of reports, but the 2 that will help you monitor progress as you get started are the progress report and the time and topic report. Thank you for joining us today, and please know that we are here to support you. We recommend that your students are working in ALEKS for at least 30 minutes each day to maximize their learning. We look forward to seeing great things as your students excel in ALEKS.